比赛也是今天最后一个 BO3，然后也有很有可能接下来你要看到的这局比赛也就会替今天的赛事画下句点，这是有可能的。目前 IG1-0领先，刚才那一局的数据显示在面板上给大家看，看到老干爹虽然企图做一些前期的野区入侵，但是实际上最终的野区控制力是远低于 IG。
对，因为老干爹真的是在没有胜算的情况下强行的入侵，然后造成很大的一个失误。
我蛮喜欢刚才韩国教练讲的，我们先讲一下我们的 MVP 给到了影子，但是
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back off of our break, and we are seeing our MVP from that last matchup. It was, of course, Illusion on Pantheon. He may not have had the greatest man drops in the early game, but he certainly made them pay off and made his moves pay off where they counted. And, well, Frosk, IG could go cruising to a 2-0. LGD seems to be tilting.
We talked about it before. LGD does have a bit of a statistical history of tilting, and I think you're correct. Wayless looked very emotional and pretty upset, especially with some of those really questionable invades that allowed IG to get the snowball that they did.
Trying to make plays where there clearly wasn't anything to be made. Yeah, definitely not going to get what you want out of that. Zatai with the calm, cool, collected outplay, and they just take it to a nice and easy victory. IG has the momentum going for them. They have the knowledge, they have the longevity, they have everything in their pocket, but can LGD, by some chance, get back into this? They have good pickings. They just have to execute.
I have 2 words for you, Pyra, for a comeback, and it's Invictus Gaming. And what does Invictus Gaming do? They split. They split everything.
Yes, they do. In those LPL matches, they did not 2-0 anyone that they're not related to. Sister team only beating out Young Glory in 4 of their 4 matches, but nobody else. Everyone was a 1-1. Invictus, they're the consistently inconsistent team.
That's the best way to put it, but we are into picks and bans, and already off the bat, Rise and Maokai taken off the board. IG this time on the blue side, LGD on the purple side.
Yeah, Yangsu showing that he could play a mean Aurelia, though. I don't think it's ban-worthy, however. No reason he might not go back to that one. However, a lot of picks available for contest in all the lanes at this point. I think you got to start thinking about maybe like a Thresh ban against Kitties if you're LGD.
I feel like Youngsu deserves a little bit of a golden star, like most improved player over the course of the split.
It's a pretty bold statement. Orianna ban, speaking of bold statements, they preemptively take that off the table. That says they're going for something else first pick.
Definitely with that, also Aurelia now off the board here, so Youngsu not going to get a chance to flex that again. Kale is still available. See if maybe 17 goes that route again.
Yep, Aurelia now off. So 1 ban apiece, and IG really thinking about what they want to get rid of here.
Big players still on the board. I mean, Yasuo was targeted, contested out as well as Fizz.
Maybe?
Alistar. Kale. Going to take that
Yep.
away from 17, so we'll see something different as far as the top lane matchup is concerned this time around.
Yeah, we'll see what the last ban is for LGD, and then we'll be getting into the rest of it all.
I assume it'll be Alistar. Rolling the dice, come on. It's Alistar. I was a little too pleased with myself there.
Ah, well, sometimes. When you earned it, you get a cookie.
Speaking of cookie, that Zillion being hovered over, of course, Zatai, the original pick of the Zillion.
He's the OZ.
The OZ. Clever.
Mm-hmm. That could be a skin, too.
The Zatai Zillion skin?
Well, they have to win Worlds for that first.
Look at 17.
They will lock that one in. Yeah, immediately. Get your mindset in the right place. POL says, Kitties cannot have this Thresh. I'm taking it. And we're going wife steal, baby.
And likewise, the insta-lock from Jack. So 17 gonna have to find something else up there in his sleeves.
I love the takeaway picks this time. It's like, hey guys, what if we just switched all of our champion pools?
Well, again, IG has such large champion pools across their players. The fact that last game, Zatai picking up the Orianna, taking that away from Wayless. This time around, of course, it's going to be Jax being pulled away from 17. Looks like he's going to fall back to the Gragas.
Yep.
Speaking of takeaways.
It's been a while since we've really seen Gragas used effectively by anyone, but when it was pretty much Yangsu. He popularized this champion in the LPL.
Likewise, Twin going to be on his favorite champion, Lee Sin, see if he can be more effective this time around. We didn't really get to talk about Kitty's Leona, though. We talk all the time that the LPL supports, they very much like to have that I initiate the fight, I'm going to start it now, you're going to follow my lead mentality. Again, this was the region that popularized Annie's support, so Leona, a very big pickup, has kind of died out in the global context of League of Legends, but still very potent in China.
Tristana. Now, this is something we haven't seen for a few games now, and if Kid goes for it, I would love this pickup. This choice with the Zillion, if they do end up locking in the Evelyn, and they do, oh man, this screams late game hyper carries.
And Kid is actually one of the few Chinese AD carries that prioritizes Tristana and plays her frequently. I believe the only other AD carry that really popularized that champion was San.
Well, he loves his Triforce mains, and like you can build Tristana with a Triforce. It's not necessarily the, how do you say, kosher strat, but it's an option. And he pretty much will do just about anything when he gets his hands on somebody that he likes. He'll have to deal with the Thresh and Lucian bot lane, though. I think he has the tools to stay safe. We've already seen support Zillion once today, and boy, was it monstrous.
Yep. I'm positive that's going to go to the mid lane there and help that hyper carry Tristana.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I half-brained the Leona pick really quickly.
It's all good.
Nonetheless, that also creates a ton of zone potential. A properly played Leona is like absolutely terrifying. Even though Thresh, is considered that counter, because he can flay back the Zenith Blade, that's like one ability stop, right? Like Leona can take so much abuse and just walk away. Next time, try to leave a den, right? I mean, Kid is going to have an amazing amount of free farm, but we are going to have a lobby remake, it looks like.
Big issue also, though, is that PYL has not really been on point with his Thresh mechanics. If we think back to the Starhorn Royal Club set, missing that crucial flay on the Rengar leap from Insect there that cost him that big fight in the bot lane. So, yeah, it's available to Thresh to outplay Leona, but gotta hit your timings.
Yeah, I feel of any support player, you talked about the Leona being a big thing in Kitty's repertoire, he's going to be able to pull it off. PYL, however, I mean, the battle of the supports, that's kind of the unspoken, the hidden agenda here is like how they can actually outmaneuver each other to create space for their carries to deal maximum damage, not just in fights, but in lane. And it's kind of been something that I don't think a lot of people focus on, but it's very, very important for both these teams.
LGD does not look the happiest team currently.
No, they are one game away from being knocked out of contention for Worlds. I mean, it's a miracle they made it, just considering how close everything was. They managed to step it up in the later stages of the LPL summer. They haven't won a playoff game. They haven't won a game since the regular season happened. I mean, they're definitely, going on a losing streak, going on tilt, it's very real. And they seem to have been affected by it at least way less, and that's not what you want your star mid laner to be feeling.
And you brought up a very crucial point here. The reason that they are in the, that they even made it to the playoffs, that they made it to the regional qualifiers was because they beat out World Lee on a technicality. I believe that when the rule came down, it came down to game time was how they decided the tiebreaker there.
Well, yeah, you have head-to-head record, right?
Yes.
Taking into account, then that was dead even. Then you have like number of wins, and that was dead even. Yeah, literally game time to beat each other. And that's in the rule book. They didn't just pull it out of nowhere. They had to like wipe the dust off of it and just like, okay, in the event that everything else is tied, oh wow, look at this. LGD beats teams quicker than World Elite can. And that, like, I think even they were surprised that they went to playoffs.
It's an issue of World Elite isn't here. LGD does arrive, and like you said, they have not won a single game through the playoffs, or, if they get 2-0'd here in the regional qualifiers, that's 9 games in a row that they've lost in the competitive circuit. Yeah,
that would definitely be the definition of tilt, but we will be getting onto the Rift, see if they can answer back. They don't look happy about this. Invictus Gaming, however, look a lot more fired up, and all of a sudden everybody moves forward in their chairs. They're ready to start this one off. They're ready to try and vie for that last world spot. Can LGD do it, or will this be yet another 2-0? Invictus Gaming in the lead by 1 game. Can they close it out?
I feel like IG's biggest enemy right now is themselves. LGD needs to not make the same mistakes they made.
Though?
in the early game. They can't allow just that. Make Invictus Gaming work for their kills, make them find the pick strategically. LGD has the ability to outmaneuver a lot of higher tier teams. Invictus Gaming isn't really well known for their strategizing, it's more so their reactionary play. They can't afford to lose the lane phase.
Yeah, absolutely not. And Invictus Gaming, they can't afford to give the later end of the game, of course, away. Let's see if they can mop this one up. Onto the Rift for what could be the final time tonight. LGD waiting in the wings, waiting in the try. And they're going to try and bait Youngsu into certain death, but he's not falling for it.
That's a sneaky play.
It's a bit desperate, though, you know? We're going to bring all 5 members to try and kill your Jax at level 1.
It's just mean. I feel like if he was playing a champion like Mundo or Nidalee, one of those poke-based champions that likes to chase people down in the top lane, that someone would have fallen for that and walked into 5 people.
Yeah, not Youngsu, though. I mean, say what you want about the guy. He is a very, very safe laner. He's very, very intelligent, and I think picking him up was a smart move just because the comms have absolutely been no problem whatsoever. You know, almost flawless. He speaks passable Mandarin, even coming from Korea. The only question was his champion pool, and it seems like he's brought a lot more of it to bear in the last couple days.
Oh, I'm definitely a fan of the Youngsu experiment. I think it went very well for IG, especially for the
hard
shoes
to replace
that
PDD, though.
Exactly, the shoes that he had to fill. Big issue though was kind of the very different play styles that each top laner brought. Again, PDD more of that hard carry, Lord Flame, Zion Spartan-esque style.
Just drop those names. Like they're hot. Yeah. Lane swap commence, of course. So we will see the Trist get nice and farmed up to avoid XQ and PYLs. The tie, meanwhile, trying to stall out. Ooh, he takes a lot of poke from that Orb of Deception, way less. He's going to have red in his eyes trying to get those kills this game, too. See if they can bait him into yet another trap, as they managed to do so many times before. But Zatai's got to be careful not to get chunked out here.
It's just an issue of waiting out your levels, making sure that you have enough of points in your abilities. But hold on a second, PYL getting a little frisky on the red buff.
Oh, yeah. Illusion will manage to secure his own buff, but it did take a little while. Xuan trying to make something happen here. There's a lot of damage being dealt to that Evelynn, but they don't have enough at level 2. LGD pulling out the stops to try and throw Invictus Gaming off balance wherever they can.
And we have failed actually to mention the lane swap coming in here. So Kid actually taking the Tristana up into the top lane. It is Youngsu and Kitty's now burning a teleport down to that bot lane to find the 2v2 matchup. So no dragon disadvantage, and that's a Tristana getting free farm and a free lane phase into late game.
Yeah, the reaction time from 17 has been very lackluster. He was just hanging out in the mid, maybe waiting for a pick, but then he went ahead and just helped out Xuan jungling, and yeah, I don't really know where LG is trying to go with this one. Now, they finally have him burn the teleport to get back up to that, but this is a lot of minions being pushed on, and 17's got to be careful not to take too much damage. Likewise, Kid, careful under that turret range, buddy.
Tristana's also very safe in a lane by herself. We've seen, I think, only one other lane swap tonight, and it was LGD's Jinx. Although Youngsu getting hooked up, hold on.
Yeah, he got punished too. Oh boy, that's, yeah. It's close, though. They're still going for it.
I think he'll be okay. There has the pot going. Don't want to dive anywhere near a Leona,
Chug
level 2
potion.
or not. The junglers, though, been relatively quiet. Illusion utilizing that stealth correctly. Evelynn is a very potent threat against the Chinese teams. Again, the fact that their vision hasn't always been the strongest. Playing that stealth champion is actually hightailing Chuan
Both junglers,
here.
yeah. Chuan is... Oh, man. Who can out-juke who? 17 finding Kid, and he's getting chunked out. Oh, my goodness, this could be trouble. Kid on the wrong side. Can he get away? He's already used up that W, I think, but they don't even need it because Xuan, they poke him right on out.
Big play there was the fact that Youngsu actually body blocked Kid's rocket jump. I don't know if you caught that there. He tried to go forward and get the damage off, but a very nicely played body block from 17.
They're still looking for a little angle they might be able to go in on this one.
Kitty's locking up PYL, though.
Make this one happen. Can they get the kill off? I don't know. They're focusing him pretty hard.
We'll walk away from that again. The fact that Jax is so low level. Lucian has the level advantage, the range advantage, very potent threat in the lane. You talk about how Jax has the ability to take down people, but needs those points in his ability to do lots of damage.
Tons of damage, you might say.
He's an
And he needs
item-dependent
items
champion.
too,
He's
yeah.
crippled early. He's against a Lucian that has a very powerful lane phase.
It's a rough way to go, but at least he has a little bit of help, right? Now, way less. He's finding out that Zatai's getting a little help from Illusion too. It's hard to say which junglers really made more of an impact early on. They've kind of been mirroring each other in a lot of ways.
Lucian has really just been kind of following Lee Sin around, trying to find these counter juggles, but been a very slower pace game, which actually helps LGD. Yes, Invictus Gaming has the late game composition, but I feel like IG stalls out much like Starhorn World Club does, you know, when they're not giving this huge insurmountable lead.
Yeah, and at this point, game bang even right now. LGD has held out very, very well. Kid is down in farm, even though he had arguably a lot freer of a lane early on. Now he has to contend with the Fat Man. He's body blocking all those minions.
Does have a level advantage, though.
That's true.
Is looking for that Shiv rush, so hopefully looking for a very passive lane phase, just kind of stacking on that gold with the Avarice Blade first, so has a little bit more coin in his pocket.
Yep, and now Illusion making a move up to the top side. There's the jump in. 17 finds him with the belly bump right there. Oh, boy. He gets away just fine, though.
And unfortunately, again, either jungler just not coming up big.
Yeah, now you have a roam here from Wayless, and this has been good or bad depending on who you're playing. I think Illusion might be caught here. Oh, no, he's going to get away.
They don't know that he's there. Does give himself away there. Trent now caught behind enemy lines.
Yep, there we go. Hate spikes on out. Kid's going to maybe find some damage too, but 17's there jumping into certain death. Kid has no fear, and he does not get the kill off. Going down for first blood, but it's answered back by Illusion. Looking for more.
Chasing 17. Zitai
Here's
is in the
Zitai.
area, has the chrono shift available. Doesn't
Oh,
look like
that's a
they're gonna go
lot
for
of
the-
tower shots, though. Illusion a little overzealous, I think.
Zitai now in a bit of trouble. Will be able to speed up out of it. They did have the chrono shift available. He got distracted with the pink ward. Good trade from Twin to find the first blood. It is a 1-for-1, but slightly in LGD's favor here. Big issue is that both of the junglers actually took the kills. So the gold is not in the lane, it's in the jungles, and frankly, they haven't really found a ton of success until, you know, just recently.
Yeah, I think they need to kind of keep up what they're doing, but if they do get behind, Invictus will really, really, really punish them for it like we saw in game number 1. I think stalling this one out the way it is currently, keeping the vision control game going, definitely the key to victory.
Again, the issue is yes, IG has the superior late game team, but oh, then hold on a second. Young Su getting caught out by PYL. Death Sentence almost connecting to Kitties. Kitties will walk away. Up, never mind. Ignite's going to tick him down, as well as the last hit from Wayless there. Picks up a nice kill for himself on the roam. That'll certainly help out. Chuan now trying to make something happen in the mid lane. Kickbacks into the tower.
And I do manage to find Zatai, but he ults himself. And now here comes 17 into the party. Gets stunned up by Yangsu. However, Zatai does not have too much more to spend. Xuan going in, no fear whatsoever. And he does manage to find a kill even at the result of his own life. PYL behind enemy lines. Saving Private Thresh. Can he get away? He's going to be all on himself. The box is down. And here comes XQ to the rescue. Illusion now in a little bit of trouble. Here comes 17 out of nowhere. That fat man can move. And that's Illusion falling down to XQ.
Nicely timed teleport from LG to get involved right there and to saving Private Thresh from behind enemy lines. PYL, some fancy
We have
footwork.
another skin concept.
Some fancy footwork.
We're just cranking them out tonight, Frost.
I know, right? Why isn't Riot paying us yet?
Way less. Here he goes. This dragon is pretty easy pickings. Meanwhile, the top lane, they did trade the objective, but to be honest, Kid pretty much had that with or without. And I think that was a better play from LGD.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Really nice collapse.
It was, it's curious, too, because that's how IG really found their snowball in the first place, is really nice collapse and over-aggression from LGD, but being much more cohesive, and a lot of that comes back to Chuen being involved in his team.
Mm-hmm. I think that Chuen has, you know, again, we've criticized him time and time again. He doesn't always have a lot of success on champions not named Lee Sin. But when he does get Lee Sin, he plays very well. As long as they're not incredibly far behind, he can make plays for his team. And he did trade his own life a couple of times, but to take out Zatai, that's worth any day of the week.
It's like he needs echolocation to find the creep waves, I believe is how we say it.
Mm-hmm.
Though, see if they can find this mid lane. LGD grouping up early, took the dragon,
Yeah.
looking
Oh, they
for the
find
next
Zatai on the hook. They get him bursted down way less. How about that Ahri damage? And this tower's all gone.
And again, finding the priority pick. There's no wave clear. The Zillion is down. They could look for a second tower. The Colin coming out to clear the wave and to keep theirs alive.
Keep doing this one just fine. Charm coming out, zoning. Kitty's going in on this one, but he's sitting pretty low now. Chuan has to be careful, saving his own life. Kid, how many times has he jumped into danger? But he does get the kill, finally on the buster shot. Delay timer, Kid getting out. That's a heal. Teleport now coming in. Yangsu. Oh, he doesn't want to take that. Doesn't connect on anybody with the Counter-Strike. XQ, illusion is low. Hook's not going to connect. Youngsu still wanting to fight. Somehow, narrowly avoiding the charm. And he's going forward with the ward hop. XQ, it's a 1v3. Youngsu, I don't know if that was a good idea. And now Zatai getting the ult off on himself. Just barely. Kid getting charmed up. Goodbye, good night. And that's going to be another kill picked up by Wayless. Tilt? What tilt?
LGD covering their flanks, but Zatai now in some trouble. Ooh.
Oh, he gets away.
Good lantern, good lantern.
Zatai should not be alive. Let's preface the statement with that.
So many blinking health bars. Illusion perhaps looking for the chase. Kitties gets the speed up.
Oh, Wayless. Oh, no, that's not where you want to be caught. Can he maybe answer back with a kill? Looks like he can. A little bit of help, and yeah, that's the reaction I expected to have. Illusion trading his life for Wayless. The bomb coming up for Zatai big time.
Such an extended fight from both sides. IG looked to come out ahead right there, but overzealous and really greedy, but really well played by LGD. Again, covering their flanks, staying together when they were all low health, and stalling out long enough that 17 was able to walk from the top lane and get involved on the back half of that.
Yeah. I really, really like the way LGD is team fighting. As sloppy as these engagements have been, LGD finding the little windows that they can go in and make plays. IG, they not even getting anything resembling a lead. I mean, they've been falling further and further behind, forcing these fights. Wayless has looked magnificent. That was his first death.
This is the difference between China and the other regions. Every region brings a little bit of its own flair, but China, it's all about team fighting. Does it look sloppy? Of course it does, but it's reactionary play. These aren't I mean, occasionally you'll see teams, set up and be methodical and say, okay, so this is how we're going to position around this dragon. We're going to take it at this time. But especially between LGD and IG, it's very much, where's the team fight? Where are the picks? And that's our plan from there. We'll know when we run into each other.
Yeah, it's really been a haphazard engagement setup. And speaking of haphazard, Illusion finding PYL and XQ out. The box is down once again. PYL. There's a bomb down. This is going to be pretty low. Oh, Xuan finding Yangsu. Well, that all happened up in the top lane, and they also pick up PYL, so a one-for-one trade. Support for top laner all across the map. LGD still maintaining the lead, but this game is going nuts.
That is the very essence of both of these teams. The fact that LGD traded a kill for an objective, whereas IG traded an objective for a kill. That's the quintessential definition of IG versus LGD.
Yeah, I think these teams are very clearly identifying themselves in this game. But, again, IG, what is this sloppy play from them? They are going way too hard for not a lot of gain, whereas LGD recognizing this bizarre winning tilt. It is so strange that they split with everybody, because Invictus Gaming, they win a game, and then they somehow just evaporate. It's like they're not even paying attention. They get so excited, and they just fall apart.
They have one play style. They just like to fight. They just like to chase you. They just like to kill you, which is why they're so much fun to watch, because they fight all the time. But the issue is that if you identify this, which a lot of teams are able to do, LGD now, you just stall out the early game. You notice LGD just played super cautious. They didn't really give anything away in the early game, and they're taking advantage of IG's sloppy rotations and the fact that they have no direction and they're taking the lead. IG is able to find picks here and there because they're so good at team fighting and bringing all these engage tools, the fact that they have the Leona to force you to fight them, but this is what you do against IG. You just stall out and you just wait for them to fall apart.
Yeah, this is been one of the sloppier games that I think we've seen tonight, but LGD is taking advantage of the chaos this time and able to make it work to their advantage. 17 trading out with Youngsu in the top just a little bit. A weird lane throwback reset is kind of happening right now.
Back his first Jax.
I feel like Kid definitely has scaling on his side, but because he goes for the eye edge first, he just doesn't have the damage to compete with XQ at this point in the game.
Definitely. Though that Shiv, it does stall out his damage output. It will help kind of speed up his gold intake. So obviously utilizing the pushing power and the clearing power from that. But especially since
following Shuan. Kitties.
Yeah, he's not gonna. He found the pink ward distraction. Although Wayless might find the charm.
There we go. Are they going to get the hook on Illusion? Oh, and beautiful Solar Flare lands on everybody from LGD. IG still way too low to take much of anything on this. And I think that's going to be a cleanup crew right now. As the tie, everybody going down. Kid barely getting away, but maybe he won't even escape. Spirit rushes out way less. And they manage to find themselves the 4-man. Oh my goodness, and here is a Dragon attempt. Should be able to walk away with that one. LGD just outplaying Invictus Gaming this time.
And again, they take a team fight, they transition it into an objective. It's not a random pick on the map. They make sure that they get something for their time spent. They were in the area for a reason. Some fancy footwork, though, from Zitai. Came back from his chrono shift, flashed over, did manage to take down XQ there.
Yeah, so in all of that, again, the chaos is there, but LGD is just, they're coming up stronger, partially because they're ahead at this point, partially because they just have, I think, a better tool set here. I don't really know what IG was going for with all these picks. They just have generally strong champions. Yes, they're going to have a scary late game Tristana and a scary late game Jax, but they're not exactly playing at the level that we'd expect. Like Zitai, he was pretty legendary for mid-Zillion for a long time, and apart from a few well-placed bombs, we haven't really seen anything special.
The concept is that LGD has really good disengage. They're very self-sufficient in their champion picks. The fact that you have the Spirit Rush, you have the mobility of Ahri, you have gap closers movement on every single champion, as well as then you're also competing against the Lantern. And that's perfect for the Evelynn Leona ultimate. IG, the win conditions are to stack that ultimate, to utilize the chrono shift correctly on Tristana, and to allow Kid to stand in the back and, you know, do Tristana things. But unfortunately, these team fights have really started out as skirmishes, like 3v3s. They eventually become 5v5s, but the mobility competing even against the Zillion speed up, LGD is just getting there faster and collapsing better.
Oh, Kid, Solar Flare landing. Can they get the damage out? There's no follow-up. Kitties gets a Zillion ult, but goes out of the fight, and it's completely used up. Youngsu going to find XQ in the back line. However, he will evaporate after that as Wayless manages to find him. Spirit Rush out. Illusion is low. Wayless leading the charge this time, and the charm. Zitai going down. That's another pickup for Wayless. Shuan staying alive. PYL on the zone. Kid just getting to the party in time. But once again, LGD clean house.
And again,
2 for 2, though.
That was a 4v4 to start, and then it turned into a 5v4 because Wayless got there first. Kid didn't get it until everyone was dead, and this has been the story of IG and how they're losing to LGD currently.
Yeah. I don't know what to make of it, because IG had everything on paper to take game number 2 really easily. LGD just recognizing those weaknesses and outplaying strategically, really taking the better rotations, taking the better fights. And how many times have we seen this? Kitties does a Solar Flare, and no one can follow up. Everyone's running scared. He gets the perfect 4 or 5-man ult, and there's no follow-up because they just aren't in position and they can't chase it in.
Not utilizing the composition correctly, being too single-minded in their target focus. The win condition now is they need to control vision over this Baron, where IG has found success with their crazy comebacks. It is typically over a Baron call or Baron steal, something of the sort.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to contend with an 11-1 Ahri, that's pretty rough. I think even Kid's going to have some trouble with that. And again, this Tristana is not incredibly powerful. Yes, he's found a few picks, only 1 kill for all this trouble. You said just Tristana things. How about jumping into the enemy team and trying to buster shot kill?
Fortunately, the Trist pick hasn't necessarily paid off for him. Still working on some key items. Doesn't really have a big damage boom yet because he went second item Cutlass.
Yeah, they're really kind of banking on this later game, but there's a massive gold swing for LGD, and they should be able to secure up Dragon. the next time it comes out. I mean, they have a lot of map control. I don't think they are at a stage where they can maybe like go for a blind Baron. That's really risky. But they can just keep knocking on the front door, and they do take out that last outer turret in the mid. Only inhibitor turret standing on the top and mid side now, looking for that bottom. Yangsu might be caught a little bit out here, as well as Illusion. This could be trouble.
You do have the minion wave approaching, trying to control vision here. Chuan.
A little overzealous. They could take the fight, but maybe not with him in the front line. Here we go, chasing down the tower for a second. PYL is going to get a hook off, and as the tie boxes down, they will get not going to be enough. The explosive cask, however, they get the absolute evaporation of Yangsu. Way less. How big is this Ahri? And PYL will go down, but nonetheless, that is still looking like LGD's fight, and they can continue to push on forward with this one, even without the support. Careful of the bomb, though. Those hurt.
He snaked that Chum right in between not only the other champions, but the approaching minion wave, and then Spirit Rush out of Leona ultimate.
Oh, kiddies, what are you doing? He does not have a solar flare, and he just eats a lot of damage for his trouble. Force him back. The bomb will not connect on anybody. Zatai and crew are trying to make this save happen, but it is hard to keep fighting an LGD team that is this far ahead.
And unfortunately, they just cannot find any sort of ground right there. Most of their spells being used defensively, and it feels like LGD is actually making the superior picks on IG. But
yeah,
they didn't get anything for their trouble there, so that's one thing. They did manage to find a pick, but they didn't transition it into an objective. So a little bit of breathing space there. Dragon is live in 30 seconds. Expect that to be the next big point of contention.
Should be the thing that LGD could wrap up pretty easily. The issue is Invictus knows this is going to be on the map. They should be mobilizing in position for it. They're already in the area, yes, but this is kind of tricky. If you force the 5v5, yes, LGD has been getting better picks, but even as ahead as they are, they're still hesitant to take some of these fights. Now, moving towards the Dragon Pit here, everyone else from Invictus is split, so this looks like it won't really be much of a fight. They're going to chase Illusion off. They didn't know they chased him off.
Very untimely and irresponsible back from Kid right there. Didn't stagger the damage correctly. They're losing the Dragon and for effectively nothing. They got some vision on the Baron,
push
but
on
that's
the top. That's what they're trying to set up with Yangsu, but it seems that Invictus, they want to fight, but they can't take fights, and now Illusion's caught out. This could be trouble. Double Solar Flare going to land, but Zatai gets hooked up. He's going to get melted, go down. His ult is spent, but he'll be right back up for round number 2. And that's going to be all over right now. Kitty's trying to make something happen on the back. Illusion falling down. That's going to be way less, picking up another kill. It is 2 for free, and they're going to go for Baron right here.
And it was another beautiful Solar Flare to try to disengage that on top of the Evelyn ult, but 0 follow-up. Like you said, kind of the story of this game. IG not playing as 5 cohesive members.
Yangsu. He almost gets in there in time with the Counter-Strike. Everybody's pretty low from LGD, and nonetheless, they don't have the damage, way less. This guy's massive, 14-1 on this Ahri pickup, the DFG, not even off cooldown, and he still bursts Yangsu down like it was nothing. I don't think IG has anything left in the tank to deal with this. They can take the perfect angle, but they'll still lose.
See if LGD is actually able to break this inhibitor line. Again, the fact that they're still being a little bit respectful of IG's composition. It is technically a wombo combo comp, but if you're not utilizing all 5 parts, then there's really no purpose there for it. But it just takes one. They have the Solar Flare. They have the Evelyn ultimate. I'm thinking
So,
Evaniscus.
Evelyn's little-known
Evan RL.
Evan.
Elements.
There we go. We're going to NA Challenger. That's what we're doing from here on out. All right. Yeah, IG just did not play their comp correctly this game. They could stall out as late as they want, but at this point, there's just such a massive gold lead. LGD, all they have to do is recognize that they have pressure on their side. They've got a 5-man Baron. They can take any fight, anywhere, anytime. And also, how good is PYL on these hooks, man? You talked about Kitty's Thresh, but how about PYL? He's been setting up so many of these picks.
Also a big comfort champion for him. Expected it to be a contested pick.
I'm happy he pulled out the Alistair again, though. It was nice to see.
I believe
Even if they didn't win on it.
He's 0 for 2 on Ali this split.
And nonetheless, he's actually going back to playing it. I mean, it was a flex choice. I feel like 17 likes to play a little more carry-centric. I'm kind of surprised they put him on Gragas this game, but it's certainly working for them. Kind of a supporting style with the zoning out with the barrels.
multiple wave clear, the versatility that Gragas can lend you, not only in the build, what you need down the road. Do we need a tank? Do we need AP burst? Do we need wave clear, AoE?
Oh, we've got it all.
He does everything and more.
Oh, it's a good sales pitch. Now this outer tier going to get fired down. XQ, speaking of firing down, does spend the culling onto Kitties. Doesn't do nearly as much damage as 17's barrel will, and that is going to be inhibitor tower number 1. They are just smushing them back into their own base, further and further, taking a little bit more ground. LGD, they have the lead. There's a split push Jax, but this might be far too little too late. Do they get back and defend it, or do they just go for broke?
Looks like one person is starting to take the back. The teleport is available.
They've got the zone on, and yeah, 17, he's not going to get spotted out. You've already got him back and racing to try and defend this. There is a 4v4 going on in the mid, and there is not even the pretense of defending. Zatai, oh, I got caught. Okay, fine, that's going down. Way less. He's getting chunked a little bit low, but Illusion's even lower. That's a pickup killed. Shuon making it happen, and that's going to be yet another hook, and Zatai goes down. Kitties comes back to life, but they have no damage. The turrets are falling. The inhibitors are falling. The Nexus is going to fall. They just leave Jax alone. 17 says, all right, we're fighting. I'm going to come right back on in. And Invictus Gaming is poised to make this comeback a reality. And for the first time tonight, we will not see a 2-0. It is going to be LGD and Invictus Gaming in game number 3. Frostgrin, are you ready for the last round?
If there is one consistent about Invictus Gaming, it is that they will always split. This has been their history, their MO. That said, they finally get the chance to go to that third game and define themselves, win or lose here, and
just can't do it.
Everything's on the line for this.
Yeah, LGD coming up really, really, really nice in that one. See if they can do it again. I mean, Invictus now, they look like the team on tilt, but everything is bizarro with this team. They look happy, they look great, and all of a sudden they're getting whomped on? What? We'll have to see how it goes next game. Yeah, even Wawa can't even brain what's going on right now.
I can't even brain Wawa's shirt right now.
That is a pretty awesome shirt. Looks like somebody painted it.
It's a classic. He wears it, I feel like every single time I see Wawa, he's wearing that shirt.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, guys, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, it will be the last game of the night. Invictus Gaming taking on LGD. It is 1-1. One of these teams will go on to maybe go to Worlds, and one of these teams will definitely not. When we come back, we'll find out who.
Their players, the fact that last game, Zatai picking up the Orianna, taking that away from Wayless this time around. Of course, it's going to be Jax being pulled away from 17. Looks like he's going to fall back to the Gragas.
Yep.
Speaking of takeaways.
It's been a while since we've really seen Gragas used effectively by anyone, but when it was pretty much Yangsu. He popularized this champion in the LPL.
Likewise, Twin going to be on his favorite champion, Lee Sin, see if he can be more effective this time around. We didn't really get to talk about Kitty's Leona, though. We talk all the time that the LPL supports, they very much like to have that I initiate the fight, I'm going to start it now, you're going to follow my lead mentality. Again, this was the region that popularized Annie's support, so Leona, a very big pickup, has kind of died out in the global context of League of Legends, but still very potent in China.
Tristana. Now, this is something we haven't seen for a few games now, and if Kid goes for it, I would love this pickup. This choice with the Zillion, if they do end up locking in the Evelyn, and they do, oh man,
this time on the blue side, LGD on the purple side.
Yeah, Yangsu showing that he could play a mean Aurelia, though. I don't think it's ban-worthy, however, no reason he might not go back to that one. However, a lot of picks available for contest in all the lanes at this point. I think you got to start thinking about maybe like a Thresh ban against Kitties if you're LGD.
I feel like Yangsu deserves a little bit of a golden star, like most improved player over the course of the split.
It's a pretty bold statement. Orianna ban, speaking of bold statements, they preemptively take that off the table. That says they're going for something else first pick.
Definitely with that, also Aurelia now off the board here, so Yangsu not going to get a chance to flex that again. Kale is still available. See if maybe 17 goes that route again.
Yep, Aurelia now off. So one ban apiece, and IG really thinking about what they want to get rid of here.
Big players still on the board. I mean, Yasuo was targeted, contested out
Alistar,
as well as Fizz.
maybe?
Alistar. Kale. Gonna take that away from 17, so especially with some of those really questionable invades that allowed IG to get the snowball that they did.
Trying to make plays where there clearly wasn't anything to be made. Yeah, definitely not going to get what you want out of that. Zatai with the calm, cool, collected outplay, and they just take it to a nice and easy victory. IG has the momentum going for them. They have the knowledge, they have the longevity, they have everything in their pocket, but can LGD, by some chance, get back into this? They have good pickings. They just have to execute.
I have 2 words for you, Pyra, for a comeback, and it's Invictus Gaming. And what does Invictus Gaming do? They split. They split everything.
Yes, they do. In those LPL matches, they did not 2-0 anyone that they're not related to. Sister team only, beating out Young Glory in 4 of their 4 matches, but nobody else. Everyone was a 1-1. Invictus, they're the consistently inconsistent team.
That's the best way to put it, but we are into picks and bans, and already off the bat, Rise and Maokai taken off the board. I will see something different as far as the top lane matchup is concerned this time around.
Yeah, we'll see what the last ban is for LGD, and then we'll be getting into the rest of it all.
I assume it'll be Alistar. Rolling the dice, come on. It's Alistar. I was a little too pleased with myself there.
Well, sometimes. When you earned it, you get a cookie.
Speaking of cookie, that Zillion being hovered over, of course, Zatai, the original pick of the Zillion.
He's the OZ.
The OZ. Clever.
Mm-hmm. That could be a skin, too.
The Zatai Zillion skin?
Well, they have to win Worlds for that first.
Look at 17.
They will lock that one in. Yeah, immediately. Get your mindset in the right place. POL says, Kitties cannot have this Thresh. I'm taking it. And we're going wife steal, baby.
And likewise, the insta-lock from Jack. So 17 going to have to find something else up there in his sleeves.
I love the takeaway picks this time. It's like, hey guys, what if we just switched all of our champion pools?
Well, again, IG has such large champion pools across their.
比赛也是今天最后一个 BO3，然后也有很有可能接下来你要看到这局比赛也就会替今天的赛事画下句点，这是有可能的。目前 IG 1-0领先，刚才那一局的数据显示在面板上给大家看，看到老干爹虽然企图做一些前期的野区入侵，但是实际上最终的野区控制力是远低于 IG。
对，因为老干爹真的是在没有胜算的情况下强行的入侵，然后造成很大的一个失误。
我蛮喜欢刚才韩国教练讲的，在我们先讲一下我们的 MVP 给到了影子，但是。
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back off of our break, and we are seeing our MVP from that last matchup. It was, of course, Illusion on Pantheon. He may not have had the greatest man drops in the early game, but he certainly made them pay off and made his moves pay off where they counted. And, well, Frosk, IG could go cruising to a 2-0. LGD seems to be tilting.
We talked about it before. LGD does have a bit of a statistical history of tilting, and I think you're correct. Wayless looked very emotional and pretty upset